Oscar, look, it's Tampa. What's up, everybody, and welcome. Today we are on episode 20. I can't believe it. We're staying on an island this morning just to check out a Regal real quick. So let's head there first. Well, all right, so we made it out to the 28 here. We actually have two problems. The first is the windlass not working, and the second is our tower behind us here. It's stuck. So this tower is supposed to move up and down so you can get under bridges or whatever else. It isn't working. Now I've already diagnosed both these problems, so let me show you. All right, so inside where our battery compartment is and our breakers and our mains is our control box for the actuators for this power tower, which means that our plug will be in the same spot. If you look here, this plug is not plugged in all the way. So let's plug it in. If you look here too, there's a spot in the sun. There's a spot here and here for a zip tie. That way that can't happen anymore. All right, now see if it works. All right, so our power tower is fixed. On the windlass side here, we actually have power up to it. You can see I've already put my meter on it. We have good 12 volts up to the relay up front, which means that our switch lost power. All right, so I've taken the breaker panel down so I can see if we got power past the breaker. So with the breaker panel down, this right here is our power to the breaker, which we have good power supply to it. But coming out of the breaker, as you can see, we have nothing. So let's replace the breaker and see what happens. All right, so we got our breaker replaced. Looks like she's working good to me. All right, so we got our windlass all fixed here. The tower is working. I'm gonna pack it up and get back to the shop, see what we can get into next. All right, we're headed out of the shop here. We are going to Port 32 Marina in Tampa. And we got a couple other boats to look at in Tampa there, so let's go. Made it, Oscar. All right, so we made it out to the Pursuit here. They got it down on the rack. It's a brand new one. Right out of the box. All right, so there's only a couple minor things with this one. The first one is very common complaint. Throttles actually will fall back on their own because they're real loose. So you can put tension on them if you want to. All right, so go to the binnacle here. A little spot right here to pop this cover off. You pull these tabs on each side. Takes the whole cover off. Underneath is these two Allens here. This is what puts tension on these throttles. And we'll tighten them up. All right, so I tightened them both about the same. They're a little too stiff. I'm gonna back them off just a little bit. That one feels good. All right, they feel about the same. Put our covers back on. All right, so the binnacle's all tightened up. The only other complaint here is these front pieces. Right here. These actually hold up, these bars that hold up a canvas. It's almost like a awning over the front of this boat. Underneath here. All right, so this is the other side. This is the bolts that hold it together on this plate right here. These are Allens. You just tighten them up there. and it should be snug. I'll put a little silicone on it when I'm done, that way they don't back off. But I'm not going to be able to film this because I can barely reach that right now, so I'll get back to you. Alright, so we got our front pieces in behind us here. This boat's all done. I'm going to tell them they can put it back in the barn here, and let's move on to the next one. Alright, so we just pulled up to our next job. We got a Tiara here to look at, so let's get out and check it out. Alright, so we made it out to the Tiara here. Behind me, right there, is the 408 from last weekend. So this complaint here is the door is stiff, or gets stuck or hung up, which sometimes is just these rollers in here, or the track gets dirty. Could be multiple things, but we have some new rollers here. So we're gonna take it apart and clean it up, put some new rollers on it, and it should be rolling good. So roll that sweet time-lapse footage. Alright, so our top rollers are good here. We'll just make sure we put some silicone stuff in those. The bottom track is pretty dirty. There's a bunch of crap in this whole track, so we'll clean all that up. Alright, so here's the door. Looks like there's a couple wheels missing on this one. This one's got all of them. So we'll replace both these because this is pretty dirty too. Make sure it's all clean and get it back together. Alright, our door is in. It's working perfectly, nice and smooth. So we're done with this boat. I'm going to pack it up, call it a day, and I will see you tomorrow.